All right, ladies and gentlemen, I assume you just saw the closing bell. All I saw was Rob's pretty face. Welcome. It's the Daily Closing Bell Report, and Rob Williams is here, Newsmax Deputy Financial Editor. But before we get to Rob's face for all of us to see it, we're going to take a look at the very pretty, very handsome-looking numbers. There they are. Look at those green arrows, baby. The Dow up a whopping 1.3%. to close up 222 at 17,414. The Nasdaq up almost 1% at 45 to close at 4683. And the S&P also up 1%, up 20 points to close at 2,022. So let's say hello to Rob Williams.
Hey, Steve.
What a rebound, what a day, and why?
Well, it rose, I think, for the right reasons, which were great earnings from companies like Boeing, which led the Dow upward with a 6% gain today. Also, Ford reported, and it did really well. And so we've really seen a pretty positive earnings season. Of course, Apple was the star. It's lifted everybody with its record earnings yesterday.
Yeah, and I
2 days ago.
think it was up about 3% again today.
Right.
But the day started with some good news on first-time unemployment claims, correct?
Yeah, they fell to a 15-year low, which was really good, although it was shortened. The week was shortened with the Martin Luther King holiday. The holiday. So that may have created a little bit of noise in the data, and so we'll just kind of see how it averages out over several weeks.
But before we get to more particulars and more companies and more reporters and oil, just to keep things in perspective, and I guess this is my political axe to grind, but the fact of the matter is, it is what it is. Food stamps. The Census Bureau says 1 out of every 5 children is on food stamps. That's 16 million children, the highest since 2008. Which, by the way, Barack Obama came in 2009. So the point is, when you combine that with the workforce participation and with the no wage increases and everything, it's still a troubled economy in many ways.
Yeah, it's a really dismal figure to see that many kids. 1 out of 5 kids, depending on food stamps.
Yeah, I mean you've got Obama phones and everything for everybody else, and kids on food stamps and adults on food stamp, the record number of adults too.
Well, that's been the really disappointing thing in this recovery, is that household income is still down from the end of the recession.
Right.
So we've seen a lot of Americans really under pressure and not getting any relief as far as the jobs picture or the income picture is more importantly.
By the way, if anybody likes to play the numbers, legally, of course, 4444, oil closing at $44.44, I believe. So that's something you might be interested in. It went down 3 cents, so it really stabilized a little bit. But you had Boeing, as you mentioned, McDonald's reorganization there, and their stock rose 5%.
Yeah, imagine that. They fired their CEO and the stock rose 5%. But McDonald's has really had difficulty just adapting to changing tastes. When you talk to people like millennials, what they want in a restaurant, McDonald's doesn't even make the top 10 anymore. Yeah. They're looking for fresh food, they're looking for healthy food, and McDonald's with burgers and fries and greasy stuff, it just doesn't do it for them anymore.
My first official job, although I delivered newspapers, but 16, on my 16th birthday, it was 20-cent McDonald's hamburger day. It was like the big 20th anniversary of McDonald's. I grabbed a bucket and mopped the whole day, and it was a great experience to work at McDonald's. But anyway, you're right about that. Alibaba fell 9%. Is the luster off of Alibaba?
Well, I think there was a lot of hype around it with the IPO, the biggest IPO of all time. And so, yeah, expectations were really high that it was going to have a great quarter, and it missed. And
tomorrow we get consumer sentiment. As long as gasoline prices are down, we could expect that to be a good number.
Yeah, consumer confidence, consumer sentiment, all those have gotten a lift with gas prices, and so we expect to see that tomorrow.
All right, Rob Williams, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks,
and if you want to take control of your financial future, and come on, who doesn't? Check out moneynews.com. There it is. It's coming on the screen. I say, I knew it. And there she is, the chief of the Fed. Moneynews.com. It's live 24/7. Coming up next, Gimme 5.